what is the basis behind the assignment of different planetary units to the horas, or every hour of the day is assigned a different planetary energy. And based on that particular assignment, we get to know that the order of weekdays, the naming of the weekdays is based on at the sunrise of the weekday, what is the assigned planetary influence. For example, on Friday morning at sunrise for 1 hour, Venus energy is more dominant. And if you look at Tuesday morning, 1 hour from sunrise, Mars energy is dominant. Monday morning, again, Moon's energy is dominant from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Now, what is the basis for this? So the basis for this, to understand the basis, we can look at Ayurveda. Ayurveda as the human body, because the hora is taking us into biophysical time units. And so we look at the physical body, and the first thing that we encounter in the physical body is the skin and the subcutaneous layer. So this layer in Ayurveda is called the majja. It is called the majja. So it is the outermost, and it is called the fat tissues. And if you go a little deeper, then you get the muscles, the muscle tissues. The muscle tissues are called the mamsa. And then you go a little bit deeper, then you get the bones. And the bones are called asti. And then you go deeper into the bones, you get the bone marrow, which is called the meda. Meda tissues are also called the dhatus. And subtler than the meda or the bone marrow, you get the subtler than that is something called the shukra dhatu, which corresponds to the human reproductive cells, and also it corresponds to the cells that form the nerves. And if you look deeper into what is more minute than the cells of the nervous system, you get something called the rasa dhatu, or it's also in English, in modern terms, it is called the blood plasma. So, and then you look at deeper into the blood plasma, more minute than that is the fluids in the body. Or, Gurudev often says that 70% of the body is made of the water element. And, the H2O, the water molecule, is the most minute. So from the out to in, there are 7 dhatus, 7 tissue types. And so, so the planetary influences in astrological texts, which are called Samhita texts, are assigned to different planets, and the order is slowest to fastest. So, you start with Saturn in this chart, you start with Saturn here, and Saturn is assigned the fat and the skin tissues. Then you go to the Jupiter influences more the muscle, the muscle mass, we say it's massive. So that is the Jupiter. Then the asti are the bones, which are extremely strong. Those are related to the influence of Mars. And then you go to the next level, which is the meda. And, the meda is also associated with the gray matter in the brain. And that is associated with, you can say either the earth element, or you can say, the sun. So in heliocentric, the sun is what controls that dhatu or tissue types. And then you go into the shukra dhatu, which is the Venus. And then you go into the blood plasma, which is Mercury. And then you come all the way to moon. And the moon is the fastest moving luminary in the sky. So you got moon is assigned to the blood, which is a representation of all the other fluids in the body. So you see, from Saturn in the reverse order, you get to the moon. And so you start assigning each hour of the day, starting with sunrise. So you rotate to 7 of these planetary influences. So the 8th hour is going to be 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It will repeat again. So if you say Saturday, the first hour from sunrise is going to be Saturn's influence. So you come, like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. So 2 o'clock is again Saturn. Then, you come again another circle. So at 21 hours are, that is, what's 21 hours, 9 o'clock. 21 hours would be 3 a.m. So 3 a.m. in the morning, you have completed 3 full assignments, and then you are left with 3 remaining. So, so the next day, before you get to the next day, there are 3. So I'll go Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, and then you will come to first hour of the next day will be Sun. So Saturday, Sunday, so again you go here, first hour of the next day is Moon, then you go 3, then Tuesday, then you go 3 again, Wednesday, 3 again, you go Thursday, and 3 again, you are left with Venus. So that is the assignment of week, order of the weekdays. It's derived from the Hora assignment of every hour of the day into specific dhatus. So here it's interesting to know what is the basis behind it. And if you look at some tissue types are formed faster in the body. Some tissue types take a longer time to form in the body. And if you observe, there is a circadian rhythm, where we feel hungry, we feel sleepy kind of stuff. Similarly, there is also another rhythm in which the transformative activity moves from one tissue type to another tissue type. It's not that the transformative activity is completely missing in the others. It's just that it dominates in one tissue type every hour, and then it keeps shifting. So there is a biophysical rhythm there. And so they just said, based on the fact that the tissue types are associated with planetary influence, and the fact that the transformative energy shifts from one dominant tissue to next dominant tissue and so on and so forth. So that is the basis for how they came up with the Hora assignment. Any question about this?